now I'm hoping we will see a phase where this new talent pool that is thinking very differently, ഭയങ്കര enterprising ആയിട്ട് സിനിമയെ കുറിച്ച് ചിന്തിക്കുന്ന ഈ പുതിയ talent pool will now get access to the great stars, Mammuka,
Okay.
Laletan. So I truly believe that they will all have a great phase now.
There is always constant chatter about legends in the game and how they adapt themselves with changing formats and treatments of storylines. How do individuals who were at the top of their game at one point of time still stay true and dear to the hearts of the people with their work? I think the best example of an actor who has no fear in the subjects that he is choosing, collaborating with talented and young filmmakers, and barely considering the social ramifications or reactions of the kind of characters he is portraying, essentially taking up the role of a true actor, is Mammootty. With all due respect to legends like Rajnikant from Tamil cinema or even Mohanlal from Malayalam cinema, there is still a celebration of their star presence outside of films that seeps into their roles. This new chapter in his film career seems to present an absolute abandon to the vision of the creator, and this is one of the most exciting phases as you never know what you're going to expect. I say this as this year I saw him in the intense and extremely stylized Bhishma Parvam. The patriarch of a gangster family in the 80s, I saw him as the brains behind a complex police investigation in CBI 5, which was probably my least favorite of his ventures this year and one of the most shocking portrayals, probably of a stuck-up bigot in Pudu that absolutely sent shivers down my spine. Such a wide variety of characters and roles in one year. Mamuka really has no fear, and when I stepped into a packed theatre for Rorschach, I literally went in with a clean slate, expecting presumably a thriller but with absolutely no idea the themes that it's going to explore, as the trailer also gave away nothing. Squashing all the rumors immediately as people created parallels with the character from Watchmen and assuming that the character of Mammootty is inspired by the DC universe, but there is no correlation or inspiration channelized to this film's plot, other than the inference that the storyline is the slow unraveling like the confessions of patients of what they see in the Rorschach test, employed in order to detect thought disorders, especially when patients are unwilling or reluctant to discuss their thoughts openly. Similarly, the plot of this film allows an insight into a new world of characters, the screenplay slowly exposing the real truth and intentions of each person. The film focuses on Luke Anthony, played by Mammootty, who under mysterious circumstances enters a small town and seeks for help. I'm going to try my best to tiptoe around the plot and Luke Anthony's goal in this film, as I can only envision that this film is best experienced with no context whatsoever. When Luke, who only has the most twisted revenge on his mind, he goes above and beyond what any man would perceive as a just means to the end. There are several players in the game that are introduced, each having their own skeletons in the closet being exposed as Luke becomes more accustomed with the people and the town, accounting for a really engaging viewing experience because you're constantly tussling between who to trust and who to blame. The film cannot even be categorized as a specific genre, as it packs in several themes in its backdrop of revenge, with psychological elements and even elements of horror. Director Nissam Bashir and Sameer Abdul, who's written the screenplay, really have woven many themes with such skill and ease. There are many creative decisions taken by cinematographer Nimish Ravi that could easily have come across as childish or silly, but the skillful executions of some set pieces is really something to marvel at. One of the examples includes as Luke walks around his home in this new town and expects a break-in, the movie beautifully ties in the current circumstances into what may have led him to this town. The scene seamlessly shifts from an open and desolate space to a more palatial bungalow that he once had. You constantly wonder about Luke's goal, and when Naseem integrates horror elements and the presence of spirits during the interval block, you really marvel at the mastery of some of the execution of these elements, as it could have easily missed the mark. The interaction with the real and the realm beyond mortals account for some of the best one-liners and trash talk back and forths. What I absolutely loved about this film and the experience of watching it in a packed theatre was that the film demanded for a patient viewing from the audience. Viewing that demands attention to detail, and while the film slowly uncovers several subplots, there was pin-drop silence at the theatre. A treatment that is usually met with a sense of impatience and groans was met with just absolute investment of eyes and ears, a testament of how one connects to the storyline and its treatment. This beautifully is enhanced with the score provided by Midhun Mukundan, presenting an eerie tone and almost upping the ante with exhilarating electronic numbers during the action sequences. Most of the music in this film presents English songs, lending a tone of Clint Eastwood westerns as a person enters a new town and the locals become wary of his presence. A really cool and unique creative decision taken for this film. The engaging screenplay allows us to doubt several characters in this world, but it is the combination of the adept screenplay and performances that really make this movie a home run, especially for those who are fans of psychological and revenge thrillers. Grace Anthony as Sujata, the widow of a man that Luke has a vested interest in getting to know, puts such a fiery presence in front of Mammootty, a task which any young actor would find intimidating, but she holds her ground so well in this film. The supporting actors like Jagdish, the adept police officer taking the investigation into his own hands, Sharfuddin, who is extremely nosy of Luke's whereabouts in the town, wanting to expose his real intentions from the onset, Kottayam Nazir, the brother-in-law of the family, seeing his fate turn upside down, puts forth a real vulnerable performance of a man consumed with absolute guilt. The supporting cast put forth really stellar performances, but if you really want to talk about show stealers, it has to be Mammootty and Bindu Panikar. Both the actors put forth performances that constantly make you question their motive, and this really requires adept actors to portray. Mammootty's wicked smile, intimidating presence, and fearless tone with the locals all account for your assessment of him being constantly in doubt, and so is the case with Bindu Panikar's character, the innocent, helpless, and doting mother of two. Throughout the film, not only will you doubt the psychological state and motive of the characters, but even question whether they are even real. So much are the curveballs thrown at you throughout the film's running time. The climax and the way the true nature of characters gets unraveled really is a sight to witness that made me even do a small clap. As I previously said, there was pin drop silence in the theatre. Rorschach is probably one of the most unique films I saw this year, that skillfully executed so many genres, and a film that you should definitely go in for without any context, because the slow unpacking of events really accounts for what us as an audience of thriller fans absolutely love, to be shocked every step of the way. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Rorschach. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.